Alright. What's going on, everyone? Happy Labor Day. Hope you guys enjoyed the long weekend from the markets. And I'm gonna make the promised video about Upstart Holdings, UPST stock. So I'll talk a little bit about the chart, technical analysis. I'll talk obviously options flows. We'll talk even a little bit about the company, and we'll go from there. Again, everything I talk about in this video is my opinions, my thoughts, and my analysis. Nothing I talk about is financial advice or any type of tax advice. So this is not an advice. Videos I make, everything we do, everything I do is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Make sure you guys understand the risks involved in stocks, options, futures, and every type of financial product. With that being said, guys, so first of all, what I posted back on X, formerly known as Twitter, right? If you guys want to follow me, my @ is this is Orlando. If you guys don't follow me already, but we talked about obviously the funny video back from April 22nd, right? That I posted about Upstart when it was basically the top, almost 400. And this is through options only. So don't get me wrong, that's only trading options. It's only a trade. When it comes to shares, though, obviously I posted this back in June 26th, and everyone in the Flow Trading Discord, you guys know, we've talked about it enough. We've seen a lot of bullish accumulation through flows, so it was kind of a no-brainer, especially with the cycle of the stock market overall, which kind of covering shorts and small and mid caps, and the stocks that are heavily shorted are seeing more inflows, and then the low float ones are going higher. Again, a lot of things going up, going for Upstart, by the way, specifically. Another reason why we also like Affirm, AFRM, some other names, because this is actually playing a part of the lower rates cycle as well. But that's only a small part of it, so I'll talk about it. First of all, posted this back in June 26th, right? And when did I post this? This was April 22nd. If I switch to the daily, where is April? All right, so yeah, April 22nd here. And then the day after, it actually went up nicely, but then obviously it went up a few days after. So again, that was more of a trade. On the weekly, though, we posted this. And this was when UPST stock traded at 22.8. Again, around the golden ratio in this area of accumulation from institutions, and the golden ratio is in an uptrend, so kind of clear. Obviously, you guys can see the rejection every time on this upper, call it whatever you want, triangle, call it trend lines, doesn't matter semantics, right? It just needs to add up, and everything obviously added up. And yeah, then we bounced from the bottom of the lower part of the trend line, basically, and that's the weekly chart. So look at the candles here, which kind of looks like a reversal, obviously, and that's from June 26th. Then look how the week actually closed eventually. June 26th, probably, yeah, this one. So the week began June 24th, the weekly closed even higher. And then the following week you get a hammer candle, and that's it. Ever since it went much higher. Even the downside here was more market related. That was the August 5th Fugazi carry trade, right, in the stock market. And even this week, beginning August 5th, closed literally, look here at the top, closed up 52% on the week. Crazy, seeing the demand. And this was right with the breakout out of this. So that's kind of obviously some of the reasons we switched. That I really like the stock, and I'm personally not advised. I'm long the stock from the 20s. Again, I only traded options, but for now my plan is kind of to sell covered calls or possibly trade options again if a few things happen. But I want to show you this. The all-time highs, fib retracement cycle, taking it to all-time lows, which is this, all-time lows. And I want you to see something. Look here. Look at the high, at the H. The high of the last week, right now, the last week was 45.71. You see it? Over here. 45.71. Look at the 0.382. 45.71. So this is a rejection on the cent. You know that this is a classic downtrend field retracement cycle. You got rejected here. You get a doji. So now you want to see kind of a follow-up. Even here, which is not exactly doji, but you know, kind of a lower-bodied candle that closed on the lower part of it. So you're just looking at it, and volume, by the way, ignore volume because a lot of it is dark pools, a lot of it is kind of pre and after hours. It's different things. Okay, I'll trust flows much more than volume after this type of move. But now you get a doji right from here. So it's a technical rejection. That's okay. It's healthy. You want to see follow up in the next week or two, and then you'll know better where we go from here. Again, as I talked about on X, formerly known as Twitter, the buy the fucking deep channel worked every time, and it's been playing out. So that's kind of still what I have here. It's not like I'm bullish on the company overall, by the way. It's not like I'm bullish on what they do, their operations. Let's talk a little bit about them, okay? Because what does Upstart do? That's what everyone asks, right? What do they do? It doesn't really matter, but still, I will say that the cycle of potentially lowering rates is playing a factor for them, right? The idea of lower rates is good for them because they're gonna have better approvals um, for basically lenders. And if you just look at this, I mean, look at their second half projections. Again, you guys gotta understand. Upstart is, first of all, they say AI a lot. So by itself, it's bullish in 2024 to say AI a lot, right? And they are a lending platform and they provide loans for different type of sectors. But if I'm not mistaken, yeah. Okay, so they actually have 1.4 trillion to home in terms of their marketplace, right? The addressable market of 3 trillion overall originators. So it's 1.4 trillion into home, half of it, and then 600 billion for auto insurance and 100 billion for personal insurance. So their banking, basically, the reason they actually say that the revenues from fees is going to be 320 million, that's important because most of their money, again, Upstart makes most of their money from referral fees, right? It's not like they're going to send lenders into banks or funds uh, to get their loans, but they don't provide the loans. So that's pretty big. And maybe because of lower rates, people gonna take more loans. Maybe because of the cycle we're again, it could be a lot of reasons, but this could also show that people carry more debt and people will take more. Again, that's kind of a red flag for a recession down the road, which I personally believe we're heading into, unless we're already in a recession, by the way, right? Because they're gonna tell us we're in a recession only after we're already in. So that's first of all a big thing, right? It's pretty decent number in terms of growth for a company like Upstart. And then they say positive EBITDA in the fourth quarter, which I guess it's not a crazy big issue because uh, again, I'm not sure how much money they spend on their actual operations and everything, but that's some interesting things that by themselves, even just in terms of sentiment, when a company puts out those numbers, it can help to a lot of strength and potential FOMO and buyers. And a lot of people looking, again, not only because it's playing a factor in the rates cycle, but also because, we're at a place in the stock market right now where a lot of people are looking for outperformers. And big money right now, analysts, they don't like the stock. They really don't. They have a lot of sell recommendations and uh, a lot of you got pretty high short interest on this one. I'm not gonna trust too much reported short interest percentages to be honest. But even if you look here, I mean it's pretty high short interest, right? And that's kind of on a low float as well. So that's how squeezes happen. And if I'll switch from logarithmic, by the way, to just the I mean, come on, look at this chart. This is a stock that have been shorted a lot. And if you guys want to remember what happened with Carvana, when again talked about it when it was $4, which I went pretty heavy long in for, then sold at $8, thought I did something, but it's literally now at 150. But guys, we see a similar type of accumulation and options activity and overall positioning from big money. And they still have a lot of things. By the way, Carvana kind of proved, even though I think it's a POS still, but they proved that they're not going to go bankrupt anytime soon. So it squeezed a lot of shorts. Upstart has a lot of proving to do still. You gotta wait for a recession to see if those numbers that they talk about are kind of sustainable. It's cool that you don't have a lot of operating costs, and it's good that you have positive EBITDA if they'll do it, but you kind of want to see how it actually plays out, after a recession, and if they can hold enough market, and if AI will help them better generate and maximize the potential of future clients. So again, it's an interesting story. I mean, I'm personally, as I've said, I'm long the stock, not because I believe in the company too much, I'll be honest, but because again, I like the flows, and that's how I trade markets. But it's gonna be an interesting story. Regardless, high risk, high reward um, position, and yeah, you guys can read a little bit more if you want. In my opinion, again, it kind of looks like it is potential, but this isn't good. I mean, everything that looks here is kind of bad, which is why, by the way, a lot of quote unquote smart money is gonna bet on a short side of things, which, in my opinion, they're missing the big picture, just like a lot of stocks, which is the cycles of the markets and flows, which is what I'm gonna talk about now, which is the most important thing, right? So UPST, let's switch to the daily, because we're just gonna look at the past few days, I mean, I guess. But again, even if you kind of go back August 23rd, just a lot of activity on the that's using unusual wells, guys. All right. What a decent trade. Look, someone opened and then closed the position for a decent trade. $3.5 million traded, $4 million took. So they probably made a few hundred of thousands on options here. And I'm going to focus on this because I don't have too much time. All right. The 50 calls for June 2025. You had accumulation, accumulation, accumulation. The stock went higher. And then look what happened here on August 28th. Someone closed a lot of it. Then someone opened back. Bid ask. Oh, I going down. It doesn't even matter right now, bid ask. It's more about the positions that are open, right? So they closed on August 28th a lot of positions. Again, open interest went down by over 3,000. And then what happened the day after, August 29th? See? Boom. They literally opened new position. So they closed here on the first kind of, not the first, but kind of a red day. Well, yeah, the first big red day ever since we squeezed. And they fumbled back in. But now, as I've said, you got rejected from the 45.71. So again, gonna be interesting to watch short term. Regardless, a lot of those positions are still open of the 50s, and that's just filtered above 100 grand. I don't have time again to go too deep. Obviously, we're gonna do it in the flow trading Discord. That if you guys want, you can check it out. The website is flowtradingusa.com. We're active all the time throughout the week. Tons of educational library content, flow alerts that are with analysis as well, not just puking unusual options activity. We actually explain what it means, the flow means for the stock, for the sector, for everything else. We keep analyzing them. Daily recorded streams. Anyways, if you guys, you can check it out. Only if you're, kind of serious about markets and learning. And we got a pretty mature group of people there. And yeah, the 50s, I'm going to show you all the options chain in a second, but yeah, that's the main flow. That's really most of what we actually saw. You see, this is an opening trade, for example, from August 29th. That's a decent one. Look, I'll switch to the 1 hour just to kind of give you guys an idea here. You see what happened here? Let's switch to the 7-day contract. They opened here basically at the top. What a trade. Shorted calls, probably STO, which is sell to open on August 29th. You see this? Open interest went up. Boom. What they did, they closed it. They bought back. So they sold 200,000. Boom. Bought back for 100,000. So that's a decent trade. So they bought back on here. When it went down, they bought back the calls, made 100 grand easy. Nice trade. Could be a covered call position, which makes me think as well that we still have longs playing in this game, and a lot of other reasons, but kind of the flows that we've seen. So the 50 calls for June 2025, guys, that's what I'm gonna end the video with. This is the options chain, right, on UPST, and this is June 2025. You guys can see here, you see the OI difference, 33.58, so over 3,300 new contracts, as we just looked on unusual wells that actually opened this contract. 59 delta. This is just this. Like you look at the 50 strike June 2025. That's kind of where it happens. All the magic happens, right? So that's what I would watch. That's what I would follow, guys. If you guys are interested in kind of short-term to mid-term price action and supply and demand to see how it moves, because options really control this type of stocks. And as you guys can see right now, open interest is over 5,000 with 4,000 volume. So you want to see all the time what happens with the new big positions that are being opened through options. And from here, I'll go back to the weekly. And again, these are the levels, guys. If you go back to 0.236, you got 27, 28, kind of a support. Um, if you break above 45.7, which in my opinion is gonna happen eventually, just a matter of time, then you go into 69, nice, which is the 0.5, and then potentially you could get a double top, even just like a quick reaction technically. And that's where we're at. Keep following the flows, keep trusting the flows, understand that this is basically a bet on not only a rate cut cycle, but on a company that has a lot of bad things going for them, but they do say AI a lot. They do have high expectations for the second half of the year, so you don't want to wait for good news or for numbers or good numbers. No, the markets are always forward thinking. They're going to price in possibilities, not certainties. That's the markets. So you want to play the narrative before the narrative comes out. And that's also why, obviously, we follow flows more than anything else. And that's it, good people. I'm gonna link my X, formerly known as Twitter profile on the description, and also the Flow Trading Discord details. Anyone who wants to join us and have fun and learn about the markets, make money. And I feel like that's it. Kind of covered everything. And if you have questions, feel free to ask below. Feel free to tell me what you guys thought about the video. And yeah, appreciate you guys for watching. As always, much love. This is the way.